2025 is shaping up to be an incredible year for survival games on Xbox Series consoles, with quite a few of these also launching day one onto Game Pass. Whether you're into surviving against dinosaurs, scavenging in post-apocalyptic wastelands, or just building entire civilizations, 2025 has something for everyone who loves survival games. My name is Fletcher, this is Xbox Nation, and today we'll be covering the 15 incredible survival games coming to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass in 2025. If you love Xbox content, remember to hit that subscribe button as we post videos every single day. And with that out the way, let's dive right into these thrilling survival experiences. Let's start big. Jurassic Park Survival is coming next year. If you're a fan of the original Jurassic Park movie, this game takes you right back to the chaos of Isla Nebula. You play as a survivor who missed the boat, quite literally, and got left behind on the island after the events of the first movie. Now you have to navigate a dinosaur-infested island where everything wants to kill you. Whether you're sneaking through the jungle to avoid velociraptors, or desperately scavenging supplies in the ruins of the park, every single moment will be filled with tension. You can imagine creeping through tall grass, knowing a T-Rex could burst through at any second. The game seems to be all about resourcefulness, quick thinking, and of course, avoiding becoming Dino Dinner. As a longtime fan of the Jurassic Park franchise, I've always wanted a survival game that really captures that intensity, and honestly, this game looks like it's gonna deliver. For those of you who like their survival experiences a little more punishing, Outward 2 is a must-play. This game doesn't just test your combat skills, but your survival instincts at every single turn. What actually made the first Outward such a cult classic hit was its unique mix of survival mechanics with RPG elements, and the sequel is promising to crank everything up an entire notch. Whether you're exploring dangerous wildernesses or haggling in towns for critical supplies, every single decision will really count. You'll need to obviously manage your food, water, health and stamina, but what really makes this game so special is its focus on planning. Obviously, you can't just rush into situations and expect to survive in this game. Combat, as to be expected, is unforgiving, so preparation is key, so think of it as a survival chess match against a harsh, unpredictable world. It's definitely not for the faint-hearted, but if you're like me and love a deep challenge, Outward 2 is something to keep an eye on. Moving on to the post-apocalyptic scene, Atomfall brings a unique twist by basing its premise on real-world events, specifically the Windscale Fire, which was a nuclear disaster in 1957. The game actually imagines a world where everything went horribly wrong, plunging England into a nuclear wasteland. You will play as one of the survivors, piecing together the truth of what caused this catastrophe, whilst having to fend off the harsh elements and obviously some hostile survivors. What really has me excited though about this game is its combination of historical fiction and survival gameplay. You'll of course have to scavenge for supplies in a world riddled with radiation, and you have to navigate dangerous weather conditions and handle the psychological stress of isolation. Plus there seems to be a mystery element woven throughout this game, so can you really uncover the truth of what really happened, or will you be another casualty of this brutal new world? I absolutely love survival games that really challenge both your wit and your ability to stay alive, and Atomfall seems to be hitting both these marks. This game is also coming out on Xbox Game Pass day one next year, so make sure you try it if you have that subscription. Now, if you've ever wondered what it'd be like to survive in the Terminator universe, then Terminator Survivors will be your game. Set after Judgment Day, you will play as a member of the human resistance, scrapping by in a world dominated by machines. The post-apocalyptic world seems very unforgiving, but Skynet's machines are the real threat here, as to be expected. You'll have to avoid or fight off the Terminators, drones, and other mechanical enemies, whilst having to scavenge for resources to keep your community alive. One of the things that really makes this game stand out though is its focus on both survival and resistance. You're not just actually hiding from Skynet this time, but you're also striking back. Throughout the game, you'll have to uncover hidden truths about their plans, giving you the chance to turn the tide in humanity's favour. If you're a fan of the movies like I am, I bet you're incredibly excited to dive into this experience. Finally, we will get ready for some pulse-pounding action in this new Terminator game. Light No Fire really offers a fresh take on the survival genre, but this time by blending traditional survival elements with a more social and collaborative world. This game isn't just about running from dinosaurs or fighting machines, it's actually about building something meaningful with other players in a living, breathing world. It's now set in a fantastical environment, and you'll have to explore different biomes, gather resources, and work alongside other players to create thriving communities. What seems to really make this game special though is the emphasis on cooperation rather than competition. As you travel throughout the forests, mountains and swamps, you'll meet other players and have the chance to build alliances, trade and create settlements together. Every single biome in this game seems to offer unique challenges and resources, and there's a lot of exploration and teamwork involved. It is a survival game where you will get to build, create and connect, and I'm really excited to see how it plays out. This game is coming from the talented team behind No Man's Sky, so I have no doubt this game will be a big hit at launch, especially with the support that will come straight after. For the zombie survival fans amongst us, this next one is for you. State of Decay 3 is finally on its way. The first two games in this series were all about building communities and managing resources whilst fending off hordes of the undead, and to be honest, it looks like the third installment will take things even further. From what we've seen so far with the small snippets of gameplay, State of Decay 3 will introduce a larger, more dangerous open world environment, obviously with new zombie types to face off against and a bit more of an emphasis on that community aspect. Honestly though, the real heart of these games is all about survival through this community. You'll have to scavenge for resources, fortify your base, and make sure your group stays alive. What I really just love about this series though is the balance between both exploration and combat, but also kind of involving that strategy aspect. You're not just fighting off zombies, you're actually managing the morale of your survivors. You'll have to trade with other groups as well, making tough decisions on who stays in your camp and also who goes. If you're a fan of zombie survival games that really make you think, then State of Decay 3 should be on your radar. Again, this is an Xbox first party title, so this will be landing onto Xbox Game Pass day one. For those who prefer an epic sprawling world, then Dune Awakening takes survival to a whole new level. This is of course based on Frank Herbert's iconic Dune universe, and this survival MMO drops you into the harsh desert planet of Arrakis, where every single drop of water is precious and survival is anything but guaranteed. What's really cool from what we've seen though is the game's level of freedom that it gives you. You'll be able to forge your own path, whether that's as a hero, a tyrant, or something in between. Of course, will you ally yourself with the Freeman, fight for control of spice, or carve out your own destiny in this desert? The environmental hazards that we've seen so far are as dangerous as its political landscape, so of course you'll have to be smart about how you navigate both these areas. With some deep resource management, exploration and combat, this game promises a vast, open-ended survival experience that fans of this franchise really wanted. To be honest, I haven't seen the Dune films as of yet, so don't take my word for it, but it looks incredibly good from what we've seen so far, and I know many fans cannot wait to get their hands on it. Now, onto one of my most anticipated survival games of 2025, and I really hope we do see it this year, and that's Ark 2. Yes, this is the one with Vin Diesel. Ark 2 built on the foundation of its predecessor, offering an open world survival game where you not only have to survive against the environment and other players, but also tame and ride some incredible dinosaurs. You'll be dropped into the mysterious prehistoric world where futuristic technology and primal instincts collide. Alongside Vin Diesel's character, who's now called Santiago, you'll have to uncover the truth about this strange world you've landed in, whilst battling against rival tribes and dangerous wildlife. From what we've heard from the developers, it'll have tons of improved graphics, deeper survival mechanics than the first game, and the addition of some seriously epic storytelling. Ark 2 looks to be promising an even bigger and better game than the original. If you love survival games with a dash of sci-fi and a whole lot of dinosaur action, or if you're just a fan of the first game, then this next one's gonna be wild. It is again also coming day one onto Xbox Game Pass, so you get to try it out for free when that lands. For a bit more of a grounded, realistic survival experience, Road to Vostok is one game to watch. I know many people haven't heard of this game before, but it's essentially a hardcore survival game set in a post-apocalyptic region between Finland and Russia. Every single bullet in this game and every single resource and every single decision will really matter. It kind of reminds me of the Stalker games, so it's worth keeping your eye on this one if you like Stalker and Stalker 2. The game actually focuses heavily on realism this time, with mechanics that simulate real-world conditions, from how you handle your weapons to how your body reacts to damage or environmental factors. Also, if that isn't enough for you, the game also features permadeath, so every single encounter could certainly be your last. One of the standout features the devs have really opened up about though is the vast open world map. It's full of areas to scavenge, enemy factions to deal with, and other survivors to trade or fight with. It seems to be brutal, it's very gritty, and it's perfect for those who want a no-nonsense survival sim. If you're like me and love that feeling of high-stakes tension, then Road to Vostok might be your next obsession. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to explore a completely new world with up to 9 other friends? Well, Under the Rock lets you do just that. This procedurally generated survival game puts you in the shoes of a 19th century explorer stranded on an alien planet. Every single playthrough is completely different, with brand new biomes to discover, creatures to encounter, and resources to gather. You will start this game by setting up a simple camp, but as you explore and survive, you'll have the chance to build entire settlements. You can also customize your characters and work together with friends to survive in this strange, ever-changing world. To be honest, the game's stylization really caught my eye, with dynamic environments and creatures ensure that no two experiences are ever alike. This really seems to add tons of replayability, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. If you love games with that mix of exploration but with a more creative stance, then Under the Rock could be a perfect survival experience. To be honest, post-apocalyptic survival games are a dime a dozen, but Rooted seems to be setting itself apart by focusing on a unique biohazardous world. In this game, the world hasn't just been ravaged by a war, it's actually been devastated by a bacterial outbreak. As a survivor, you must navigate environments contaminated by deadly biological agents, and it's not just the environment that's trying to kill you. Other survivors might just be as dangerous. What's really interesting though from what I've seen is just how the game encourages you to adapt to these hazards, whether that's crafting some protective gear to enter contaminated zones or creating defenses for your own little base. The blend of sort of that environmental feel and human threats keeps you constantly on the edge of your seat, and I really love what the developers are doing here by weaving in a real sense of danger. It's atmospheric, it's eerie, and it's got me seriously excited. Now for something completely different. Solarpunk is a survival game for those who want a more peaceful, optimistic take on this genre. Instead of grim post-apocalyptic settings, Solarpunk is set on a beautiful floating islands where you and your friends can create a sustainable utopia. The game actually emphasizes renewable energy, eco-friendly resource management, and cooperative play. You'll be exploring neighboring islands, harnessing the power of solar and hydro energy, and building the perfect eco-city. Honestly, I love to see that this game offers a more relaxing survival experience without the constant threat of enemies, making it a great option for players who enjoy the crafting and building aspects of survival games, but want to do it in a more laid-back setting. It's sort of looking at that more cozy game sort of genre, and to be honest, I'm all here for it. It really looks like a creative, hopeful take on this genre, and I cannot wait to see the kinds of floating utopias that players create. For those of you out there who enjoy a good blend of survival and narrative games, INDUSTRIA 2 offers a mix of first-person shooter action, survival elements, and puzzle solving. This is set in a mysterious alternate dimension. The game follows your character called Nora, a scientist trying to stop a rogue AI called Atlas. The world here seems to be very surreal and dangerous, filled with strange enemies, and environments feel like they're straight out of a fever dream. The survival aspect really comes in through the resource management area and decision making as you navigate this hostile world. There also seems to be a very deeper layer narrative thread that really focuses on the consequences of technology, adding another layer to this survival experience. If you're into games with a strong story and a bit of mind-bending mystery, then INDUSTRIA 2 is going to be a survival game you will want to watch. Have you ever wondered what a medieval survival horror game would actually look like? Well, Blight Survival gives you exactly that. It's actually set in no man's land between two warring nations, and the game introduces a mysterious blight that has reanimated the dead. As a knight, you and your fellow soldiers must survive in this dark, plague-ridden world, fighting both the undead and the enemy soldiers. The game kind of mixes that melee combat with survival horror, forcing you to think strategically about every single encounter. Of course, resources are very scarce, and the threat of death looms over every single battle. What really stands out to me though from the gameplay we've seen so far is just a dark, gritty atmosphere. So you can imagine it as sort of a Dark Souls-esque game, but with a more survival focus, and to be honest, that seems to be exactly what Blight Survival is aiming for. It's brutal, it's very bloody, and is perfect for players who love a challenge. Last but certainly not least is The Alters, a psychological survival game that explores the concept of identity in a very fascinating way. You will be stranded on an alien planet, and your character can create alters, which are alternative versions of themselves based on different life choices. These alters will help you survive by bringing you different skills and perspectives to the table. But honestly, there is a single catch. The more you rely on these alters, the more psychological strain it puts on you. You'll have to balance using these alters whilst keeping your mental health in check, and it really is a game that dives deep into existential questions whilst challenging you with survival mechanics. If you're more into that thought-provoking sort of game that challenges you to reflect on who you play as, The Alters is definitely going to be one of the most unique survival experiences of 2025. This game is coming day one to Xbox Game Pass, and we will have a review out on it next year, so make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss out on this upload. So there you have it, 15 incredible survival games coming to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass in 2025. Which one are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more Xbox content every single day. Whilst here, remember we are doing a 5% discount currently on my website at xboxnation.co.uk, so use code XBOXNATION at checkout for any games, gift card or Game Pass subscriptions. Whilst here, why don't you check out our most recent video on screen now, covering the 13 brand new Xbox and Game Pass games that are coming out this week.